Hi guys, hi, hello, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my Shop My Stash rotation, and if you're unfamiliar with a Shop My Stash, it's basically me getting use out of the products that I have. So I'm going to go through the products that we picked out last month for my everyday makeup drawer, tell you what I loved and didn't love, maybe declutter some items. We will see, and then we'll go through and pick some more. I try and be quick at these, but typically these videos are roughly 35 to 45 minutes. I'm hoping that I can get through this one quicker and quicker. They are quicker and quicker for me as I do them more, but yeah, so if you're in it for the long haul, I do hope that you love it. I hope that you want to subscribe before you go. I hope that you grab a snack before you sit down and watch this, but otherwise, for those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a district leader for Ulta, so I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you all that education through my channel. So I do a lot of reviews here, a lot of hauls, shop my stashes, declutters, project pan, all the things that are pretty typical for our beauty channel, right? And then I also like to throw in some other content here and there that's just fun stuff, just educational stuff, just whatever kind of stuff. I basically just like to talk about makeup, and if you're here, you also probably like to talk about makeup, so I hope that you'll want to stick around in the end. I am sick. That is why I sound this way. Although I am on the upswing, I feel a lot better today than I have in the last 7. It is Sunday as I'm filming this. Easter Sunday, actually. I'm glad I feel better, but if you can hear a little nasal in my voice, that's where it's coming from. So with that being said, let's jump into the Shop My Stash, because these videos are always super long and I don't want to keep you longer than I have to. Here we are again. So let's just jump in. The first one I'm going to go through is complexion. I emptied a product, actually. It was this. It was the Professional Hydrating Primer. It was just a little mini guy, but I was super excited to get this finished up in just this 1 month rotation. I do use a lot of primer, and sometimes, depending on my day, like filming or whatnot, I may put more than one makeup look on my face. So I want to say, though, also, this really didn't have a whole lot in it. I anticipate that if it were this size, I should run through it in a month. It wasn't the only primer that I was using. I did have another one in this rotation, but it's gone. It's fine. I didn't really necessarily love this primer. I found that sometimes when I used it, the makeup underneath would pill, and I don't really necessarily ever have a problem with that. I don't think that it combined very well with the sunscreen that I use, so maybe that was part of the problem, but this is just a little sample, guys, so the fact that I went through it in a month is no biggie, truly. It didn't have like any weird smells. It was fine. It was fine. It was a fine product. Would I ever purchase it? I just think that I have more hydrating primers that I like better, so I would probably not repurchase this primer, but it's a decent primer. Then I had this primer, which is the Yensa Color and Face Tone Up Primer in Essential Glow. And it has 8 super block essences in it to like really help the skin on your face. I liked this primer. It is what I've got on my face today. I am using natural light, so the lighting is changing off and on in here, just in case you need to know that, because the light will be changing. I like this primer. I don't necessarily think it's super glowy. Again, it is what I'm wearing on my face today. Do I think that it's creating a crazy glow on my face? No. What I hate about this primer is the smell of it. It's not like a horrible smell, but it smells like pencil shavings. Yeah, and I'm not really fond of that, but I don't mind the primer. In and of itself, it's a great primer. I don't necessarily think it's glowy, like I said, but I also didn't find anything that I disliked about it except for the scent. So the scent does dissipate, so I am going to hold on to it, but putting it on, man, is just awful. Then I have some concealers in here. So one of them is more of a like color correcting concealer. It is the Benefit Cosmetics Boing Bright On Concealer, and this one is in the shade Lychee, and I really like this. It's a very nice thin layer of concealer, so to speak, but it's more like a corrector, and it's very serum-y, it feels like. It's very lightweight. I didn't feel like it, you know, exacerbated any kind of fine lines or texture under my eyes. I really did like this a lot. Then I have these two guys. And this is the Becca Concealer. This is their Ultimate Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade White. I don't know what shade this is. Linen. I do think that I picked this up at probably TJ Maxx. Like, what am I gonna do? There's no reason for me to have this. Number one, it is way too white. Number two, I did find that this really sunk into the fine lines and wrinkles right underneath my under eyes, which in turn exacerbated any kind of aging that's going on under my eyes, made me look 90. So I am going to declutter this. It's just far too white. I didn't need it in my collection in the first place. And then I also have this one. This is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue. And this is in shade 12 Light Medium. And I actually quite liked this. I felt like it had a lot better coverage than, of course, something like this, which is basically just a corrector. It was a little bit thicker than that corrector, of course. I feel like it was thinner than this, though. And it went on very nicely on my under eyes. But it also did a really great job of covering up any kind of like problematic places that I have on my skin. But in addition, I feel like it's the right color for me to use as a, like, just a light coverage, like maybe just concealer only kind of makeup day, because it matches my skin tone quite well. So then I have two foundations. I still really just don't know how I feel about this. Like, I felt like sometimes it made my skin look really dry, and it is a, you know, weightless soft matte hydrating foundation. And sometimes I feel like it looked really good. I wish I could figure out the perfect combination of primer to this foundation, because maybe that was it, but I was just using these two primers and I can't remember which primer I was using when I felt like it looked like poop. I feel like giving it a third chance in my stash, but I also feel like it just made my skin look really dry. Maybe it's the color, maybe, but I just don't know what my problem is with this, because this is a cult favorite. Like, everybody on this platform loves this and I just don't. So is it a me problem? I'm not sure. This is the Ulma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Foundation, Hydrating Foundation, and this one is in Fair Lady T1N. I'm gonna leave it in my collection. That said, I need to try it again over the next couple months and decide what I want to do with it. Who knows? It may end up in a declutter very, very soon. Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is the oil-free natural skin perfector, and it does have 20 SPF in it, and it is in shade 1N2 Vanille. This is beautiful. I loved this skin tint so much, and it really kind of shocked me, because I think that this is made more for oily skin than it is for dry skin. This was very nice, and it's not necessarily this color. I mean, it does come out this color, but I think that this is a wee bit darker than it actually appears on the face. Love that. Will be keeping that. And then this by Terry Hyaluronic Hydra powder was actually quite nice as well. I am wearing it on my under eyes today. I never wear powder, but I am wearing it on my under eyes today, and I feel like my under eyes look really, really nice considering how they normally look when there's powder on top of them. I don't know. I kind of love this powder, so I will be keeping that. Next, let's go into this guy, which is bronzers and highlighters. And I had this. This is, well, I guess this is more of a contour palette, but this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette. And I did use this one quite a bit. I also used this one and I used this one. I feel like this is not a shade for me, and these I absolutely hated. They are so, so powdery. So in this palette, I will probably get use out of these 3 shades if I can remember to pull it. The problem is that I don't know that I will remember to pull it, but I do like it. I thought it was beautiful. I loved the bronzer shades in here, so I am going to hold on to it. And then I brought in 3 highlighters. So I have this Becca in Own Your Light, and it is a really pretty, beautiful, kind of like duochrome, like peachy to gold shiftiness. It does sometimes appear that it's got glitter in it, but I know that that's not typically Becca's style. I feel like it's a really beautiful like topper for my blushes. I don't necessarily think that this is a great highlight for my skin, but you can sheer it out really well and it looks really nice. And I would probably have worn it with this eye look, but I needed to get some use out of some of the other primers in here, and I didn't use that one today, but I have used it quite a bit over the last month, so I am gonna hold on to it. Then we have this Ofra one, and this is in Covent Garden, and it's kind of this like pinky lavender shade, and I just really thought it's kind of icy, but also kind of lavender, but also kind of like dull pink. I don't know. It's beautiful. It is on my cheeks today, and I just think it's a gorgeous highlight. And so I will be holding on to that and keeping that as well. And then we have this one by Pretty Vulgar, and it is one of their Shimmering Swan Glimmer of BS highlighters, and that is the shade. It's just really kind of an icy, champagne-y shade. I think it reminds me a lot of Covent Garden, but Covent Garden is a little bit more lavender and pinky than that one is. It's just beautiful. So I will be holding on to this one as well. The next drawer that we're going to look into is this guy here. This is blushes. I do have this one by Ciate. This is their Marbled Light blush in Burnt. This is what is on my cheeks today. I just don't know how I feel about this because I feel like it is rather like pigmented, but I don't feel like it did that on my skin. Like I feel like you can't even see it really. So maybe I'm just applying it with the wrong kind of brush. I love this blush. I think it's beautiful. At the end of the day, would it be one that I kept? Probably, and that's why I'm gonna continue to keep it. Then we have this one by Melt. This is the blush light in Fire Fury, and what I found with this one is that it is so deep, and it doesn't like sheer out super well. Not that it's hard to blend, because it's definitely not hard to blend, but this is the color that stays for the most part. You have to go in really light-handed with it, and then it kind of almost looks like this, to be honest. But I did like it when I went in with the right amount of force, if that makes any sense. When it is straight up this color, it looks like a bruise. So you definitely have to be very light-handed with it, but I do like it. It's got quite a bit more saturation to it than this, even when blended out. I do feel like, well, looking at it now, it makes me wonder, should I keep this if I can do the same thing with this one? I don't know. If I had to choose one to leave my collection today, it would be the Ciate one. So I am going to hold on to the Melt one. We'll see how long the Ciate one lasts in my collection. So then we had this one. This one is the Ambient Lighting Strobe Lighting Blush in Incandescent Electra. This I got in a FabFitFun. This is by Hourglass, and this is a really pretty, just kind of baby pink. Oh my god, it is so pretty on the face. So pretty on the face. One I am also really on the fence about is this one here. This is the Wander Beauty Lip and Cheek tint. It's called Double Date, and the top is in Sweet Talker and the bottom is in Swipe. The top is the pigment, and it's a really pretty coral color. I think that it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And then the bottom is the clear, which I used as, of course, a lip tint or a lip balm. Not necessarily super drying, not necessarily super hydrating though either for a balm. I do think that I could get a lot of use out of this, but as it blends, as you blend it, it just kind of blends away. Do you guys see that? So I am going to hold on to it. I am kind of on the fence about it, but I want to do, there's one more video that I want to get completed with my creams, and that is really one of the blushes that I want to bring into that. Maybe try it out a couple more times. So I'm kind of on the fence with that. Then I have this. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cream Blush, and it is in Sweet Innocence. And y'all, I really did want to love this. I just don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, because it is so shiny. It's like disco ball on your cheeks, and while that is perfect, really, if you don't want to apply a highlighter and a blush, I don't really know that I love this. Although on my arm it looks super pretty. So here's the true tea with this one. I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of this one. So I do think that I will keep this in for one more rotation just because I didn't get a whole lot of use out of it, and then go from there. I also think that maybe I should do that with this one too, because I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of this one either. Let's do it. Let's keep those two in. Okay. And the last thing that we have in the drawer of blushes is this guy here. This is the Mellow Cosmetics Stardust Glow palette, and it is in light medium. And I did say that I put, you know, I have this one here, which is a bronzer, and then this one here, which is a blush. This is a very like kind of pinky toned, almost coral toned blush, and it can be very, very pigmented if you want it to be. This bronzer I feel like is more of a like neutral tone blush. It almost leans very rosy on me. So I have the bronzer on today, and I feel like it's pulling very orange on me today, but it pulls very rosy. So I kind of liken these two blushes with a more, you know, creamy or more corally blush, and then a more like rosy tone blush, and then two highlights. This highlight is so pretty. I love this highlight so much. And then this highlight is also really pretty, but really freaking gold. I love this. I will hold on to it. I do have a discount code down in my description box for Mellow Cosmetics as an ambassador for Mellow. You can use to get a percentage off your purchases. So I have this Bare Minerals ID loose eyeshadow powder, and it is in the shade Pacific Heights, which is kind of like a gray purple. I am decluttering this. I used it once. I hated it. I couldn't, it's really hard to work with. As a matter of fact, I have probably 12 loose eyeshadow powders in my like single eyeshadow drawer up here that I will probably end up decluttering because I haven't yet used one in the last year that I have loved. So truth be told, they've been in my collection for quite some time, so I'm totally okay with that. This pigment is going to stay in because I didn't use it, as well as the pigment glue, I guess, the primer, the Peri Primero primer by Alamar Cosmetics. This CoverGirl Exhibitionist liquid eyeshadow is really freaking pretty, if I'm honest. It doesn't have like the consistency of like the Stila Glitter and Glows, but it does have like the shine, and that is just beautiful. I loved it. I will be holding on to it. I just hope it doesn't go bad before I use it again. And then this one is the Natasha Denona one, which I wore this so much when I first pulled it in. It's this one up here, this kind of red but it goes red, gold, green. It is just gorgeous. I will continue to use that. And this one is one of her chromium liquid shadows in the shade Infra Nude. Loved, loved, loved those. This Dazzle Stick, I didn't get to use it all, so I am going to keep it in rotation. And that is it for the eyeshadows. And then the last bin is this guy here, which is lip product. Okay, this I'm certain is bad. It smells awful. I do have it on today, but I will be decluttering it because it smells really bad. This Jeffree Star lipstick has, like, the formulation has changed. It's really pretty, but it is just dry. The stick is just dry. It's been in my collection, honestly, for years. It is in the shade Allegedly. It's really hard to get it on my lips right now. It's not as creamy as it used to be. I can tell that it's turned, even though for the most part it doesn't have a scent to it. Then I had this. This was the NYX Lingerie Push-Up, and I believe the shade is Lip Lip. Not sure. This is a really pretty tone. It is this shade right here. I really do like it. It actually surprised me. It's very creamy, very nice. I would suggest them always. It's a kind of a roll-up lippy stick. I didn't mind this. It was actually quite nice, so I will be holding on to that. And the next one was this one. It is this shade right here, and it is by Reina Ribalde. It is in the shade La Jefe. My aunt, I think, got this for me at Walmart, and it was a really pretty color, but it is very dry. It's been open since like October last year, and already I can smell that it just doesn't smell good anymore. And I don't know that it really ever did, if I'm honest, but this is such a dry shade right now. It just makes my lips look horrible. And granted, yes, I know I need to moisturize my lips more, but even without moisturizer on them, some of these look really good. Like this looks really good on my lips today, and I didn't moisturize my lips. This is the Clinique Blushing Pop lipstick, and it is this shade right here. It's not too pink, not too brown. It's a perfect, like, nude, in my opinion, for myself. I do like it. It is what's on my lips today, topped with this guy, and it's a really pretty color. Next I have these two lip liners, which when I first bought them, like, I thought this one was going to immediately go in the trash can, honestly, but I wore it the other day for like the first time in forever, and I topped it, honestly, with this lipstick on top. And it made my teeth look so white and my lips look so plump. It is this brown shade right here. And I really thought, there's no way I can pull off that brown. It's kind of like this baby poop green brown, if that makes any sense. But it is so pretty. I'll pop a picture of the lip look in this, and I really enjoyed it. They are very, very creamy. Also, no tugging, no hard time putting on these lip liners, but also no feathering, which is really nice, because sometimes when they're super creamy, they go on really, really nicely, but then they feather all over the place, and that's irritating. These didn't do that either. This one is in the shade Love Me, and it is a really pretty pink. It is this shade right here, and it went well with, like, even the lip shade that I have on today. I honestly didn't use these ones very much. This one is in Dolly Danger, and it is by Buxom. So I am going to leave this one in. I am also going to leave this one in by ColourPop because I didn't use it either, and it is in the shade Obvi. And I didn't use this one either by NYX. So this one is in the shade Vintage, and it's a really dark shade. So I will be leaving that in as well. I also didn't use this Clinique lipstick. This one is another one of the pops, and it is in Plush Pop, so it's a little bit more pink. I will leave that in. I did use this liquid lipstick by Huda, and you know, I really thought it was not gonna be amazing because it has been in my collection for quite some time, but it actually went on really nicely. I think it looked really, really super on my lips. That is the shade of it. It reminds me of that Clinique color right there, just maybe a little bit more brown. It still smells good, but I can tell that it's starting to turn. And because of that, And because of how often I wear liquid lipstick, which isn't enough, nearly enough for the amount of liquid lipsticks in my collection, I am gonna get rid of it. It is just a sample size. It's not one that, I think I got it in a set with another one and a lip liner to go with both of them. I got a fair amount of use out of it when I first purchased it. I'm not sad to let it go. It's just, it still smells like vanilla, but it's got a little bit of a vanilla chemical scent to it, more than it did in the past. So, you know, when it comes to your lips and your eyes, you should definitely be more careful about it. So I am going to get rid of that. This plain clear gloss I didn't get to use. This gloss I didn't get to use. This is by Estate Beauty. And then, of course, my lip scrub will also stay. So we are keeping 5 lip products or 6 lip products and 2 blushes and 3 eye products in this Shop My Stash rotation. We are getting rid of 5 lip products, a concealer, and a eyeshadow through Declutter, and I am emptying this guy because this guy is empty. I'm going through my drawers after pulling everything for my Shop My Stash. I realized I had forgotten a couple things. One being this Devil pencil. If you guys watch my Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me, you know how I feel about this thing. It is pretty, but it's also awful. It goes on your eyes. It doesn't go anywhere. You can't move it. It doesn't budge. It is evil, and it will be going. And then this was a highlight that I also had in my Shop My Stash rotation, and you can see it's full, but it's on a, what is this thing called? A pipette, like a dropper, and it doesn't work. The pipette is broken. It doesn't suck anything up into there, and I tried it I tried to dump some out of it and use it that way, but man, that's just such a damn mess, and ain't nobody got time for that. So both of these are also going to be decluttered with the stuff from my Shop My Stash rotation. I feel good about that. We decluttered 7 items and emptied 1 in this last rotation. So now I am going to flip you guys to my camera on my phone, and we're gonna pick some new products. But these are the products I didn't use last time that we're keeping in. I feel like with these lip liners, because I also have a lip liner in my project pan, I don't feel like I should bring in another lip liner. I've got a nude, I've got a dark one, and I've got kind of a mid-tone pink. So I definitely don't think we should bring in any more of those. And then these 2 glosses, I think should be the only 2 glosses that we pull in as well, because I'm going to be pulling in a gloss into my project pen as well, and I don't want to be working on too many glosses. So I definitely think these should be the only 2 glosses as well. And of course, I always got my purse glosses and whatnot, so we're not pulling anything from here, which is the pencils, and I'm not going to pull anything from here because this is glosses. This is liquid lipsticks. And I do think that maybe because of that other Huda Beauty one, maybe we should pull in one of these. Maybe this one. This one is that Muse? That's Muse. Let's pull in this one. We'll see how that one goes. Wow, that was really loud. Sorry. Lipstick wise, I am going to pull in this. This is a new one from Melt, so I am going to pull in this one. So I also think I want to pull in these ones. These are Pat McGrath, and I feel like they're good tones for what I'm going after. So the one from Melt is a little more coral, and then these guys can be all my pinkies, and I have a deep pink, a very light pink, and then kind of a mid-tone pink, and we'll try those out. This is the one from Melt Cosmetics. You can see there was some damage done to it when I first got it. The top came off and was in the lid. It's just one of those little tiny samples. So in here, I've got my lip scrub. I've got 3 liners, 3 lipsticks, 2 lip glosses, and a liquid lipstick. And I think that's all I want for lip products this go around. Maybe we pull in, I've done that stain, but is this a lip stain too? It is. What shade is this? Like a berry? I don't know if I want that. Okay, I think that's it for lip products. Okay, for single eyeshadows, we still have these things left. This is a pigment primer, and this is a pigment, and then we also have this Dazzle stick from KVD. So let's look and see what else we want to bring in. I hated the other one of these, and this is still wrapped, so I think I'm going to put this into my giveaway drawers. Let's bring in this Thrive. This would be great for like brow bone highlighting, inner corner highlight when I don't have a palette that I'm using that has that. I've had a lot of those lately, so let's bring that in. And then from the Super Shock perspective, I have one in my project pan, but I do think that I could probably bring in another one. Let's bring in this one. Again, this would be a beautiful shade for like brow bone or inner corner. This is in Ladybird, and that is what it looks like, just a really kind of pinky color. That one has been used and abused. I do think we could probably bring in, I want to do, I think I want to do some of these KVD ones though too. Let's do this one. And this is in the shade Electric Warrior. It's a really chartreusey green. So let's do that one. But I also want to bring in Thunderstruck, which is white. And this is perfect also for brow bone and inner corner. I think that chartreusey green is going to be great for inner corner as well. So let's bring in those. I'm going to bring in this Mellow Olive because I haven't used it nearly enough and it's beautiful. And then I think that's it for single eyeshadows. I'm not going to bring in another primer because actually let's bring in this primer, which is the KVD Color Correcting Eye Stick. Back when it was Kat Von D. This is in medium. It's not the best tone for my skin, honestly. I think I picked it up at TG Maxx, and it was kind of hit and miss there for, you know, if you want to get your skin tone, good luck. I am going to bring in a couple of these Stilas as well because they're just easy peasy. We're going to bring in this one, which is in the shade Tulip Twinkle. I don't know that I've used it before, so, and this one is one of the Glitter and Glows, so it's going to have all the glitter on it. Let's bring in this one too. This is Kitten, and this one is actually a shimmer and glow, so it doesn't have the glitter, but it definitely has the shine. Do we need this one too? Yeah, let's bring in this one too. This one is in Jezebel, and it's the same thing. It's a shimmer and glow, so it has the shine, but not the glitter. So this is the stack of all of our eye products that we're bringing in. Yeah, I think that's plenty. Yep. As far as blushes go, this is what we have left that we didn't use quite enough of last rotation. So this is my blush drawer. And let's find some new blushes. Now I have all of my cream blushes out of here because I have a video that I'm doing on them. Maybe we could go through them right here. I think I've used almost all of them recently, actually, except for this. Maybe I'll bring this in. This is the Surratt blush in Classique because it's new to me. I got it in my Beautylish Lucky Bag and I haven't tried it yet. So let's use this. That's 3 cream or liquid blushes. So now let's try and find some powders. This is super hard with one hand, just saying. Okay, this is an Ophir blush in the shade Bellini, and I haven't used it, so we're going to put that in. Let's also... I think there's one of these that I haven't used much that I'd love... Oops. That I'd love to try again, just because I haven't used it very much. That's not it, though. This one. This one's got to be it because I only have the 2 in my collection. So that one is more kind of a neutrally blush. So let's put that one in. Oh, I just got this one. Let's put this one in too. This is Pat McGrath Flirtatious, but that is it. I think that they are so similar. This one's really kind of deeper though. This one's a little more coral. This one's a little more mauvey. They're almost all the same. I think that these right here will bring some good gradient or some good like color differences. I don't know. I feel like I should pick another one just because I've got so many that are the same damn color. I clearly have a color. I feel that's like the same color. It's very coral. Let's bring in this one. That'll be fun. That is by ABH. That is one of the ABH blush trios in Peachy Love. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's plenty of blush. What do you guys think? All right, guys, so these are the blushes that we have for the next month. And I think we've got a good, I mean, we've got a coral, a pink, and a glowy pink liquid or cream. And then we've got 3 that very much look the same, only, you know, different variations of the same color. And then this one, which is more corally. So next is highlight and bronzer, and there's nothing left from that rotation. So I think I want to start with bronzer, and I do think that I want to bring in one of these Lorac ones because I think maybe this one, because they're not new to my collection, but I have never used them. I definitely need to do that. I think I also want to bring in a Sculpt Stick again. Let's bring in this one by Fenty in Amber. And then I am going to bring in another, I'm going to bring in one of these as a cream bronzer as well from Juvia's Place. I think I'm going to bring in this one, which is in Guinea. So I've got a cream bronzer. I think I'm also going to bring in this one from Bare Minerals. This is just in Warmth. Just to see if I really want to keep it in my collection. But that'll be a good one to bring in. Maybe also this one from Laura Geller. Also a bronzer. But this is the Baked Bronze and Brighten in Medium. And this is also just a little sample. So do I really need that in my collection? I don't know. We will see over the next week. Not week, month. For a highlighting palette, Do I want to bring in a highlighting palette? Maybe, maybe. Let's bring this one in. Let's not. I've used this one. Let's bring this one in. This one is by Cover Effects, and I haven't used it. That is what it looks like. It has a pinky, a white, and a golden, and I think that this will satisfy all of the needs that I have for a highlighter in this rotation. But, of course, you know I can't just pick that one. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to pick a couple highlighters to go with it. Ooh, let's bring in this one. This one is by Grande Cosmetics. This is the Grande Glow Plumping Liquid Highlighter. I don't know why it would need to be plumping, but we're going to bring in that as a liquid option. And then I also wanted to bring in... This is a bronzer. Why is this in here? Let's bring in this little tiny Becca one in rose gold. I think because we have like a champagne, right? And then when we lift this, I think this looks different than all three of those. Does that look too similar, you guys? I almost think those two look too similar, but I do think that this one is a little bit more neutral. And this one's maybe a little bit more peachy. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got a liquid highlighter, a highlighting palette, and then like a rose gold highlighter. We've got these two bronzers, this glowy bronzer, and then like a cream bronzer and a contour stick. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, this is our bronzer and highlights. Now all we have is complexion. Mess. My room is a mess. Okay, so these are what we've got. Here's the True Tea. I need a really great hydrating primer right now because my skin is not feeling super hydrated right now. I do think that I should just bring this back in. This is the Bobbi Brown Face Base. This is a really hydrating primer, so I am going to bring that back in. I am also going to bring in this stick foundation by Hourglass. I am in the shade Shell. It's a beautiful stick foundation. I think I'm also to bring in this Halo by Smashbox. You know it's going to get super hot here in a minute, so I'm going to bring in this by Fenty because I'm almost done with it, you guys, and I do think that if I focus on it, I can get it out of here. It is the Eavesdrops in shade 9. I also think I need to try this to see how much I like it still, because, you know, there's that. Should I get another primer? I think I also want to try this primer by Rodial. Glass Primer for Flawless Glow. I'm not sure that this is super hydrating, but this might be a really pretty primer just on its own, so let's do that. And as far as a powder goes, you guys, I think I'm going to pull in this Laura Mercier just because I need to use it again to see how I feel about it. And then as far as a concealer goes, I'm going to pull in this Oma Beauty Woke concealer. I'm also going to pull in this NARS concealer in the shade Creme Brulee in 2.5. I think I'm also going to pull in this one by Urban Decay Naked. It is in the shade 31NN, or 30NN. So I do think I'm going to pull that one in as well. Why do I have 3 concealers in here? I'm not pulling that one in right now. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So those are the complexion products we have. We have 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, 4 foundations, but 2 of them are skin tints and the other 2 are foundations. We have 2 primers, one more moisturizing, one more glowy. We have 2 concealers and we have 1 powder, this Laura Mercier powder. So that is it. That is what I have for you. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know how you feel about the picks that I made and the products that I kept out of what I used last time. And then the products that I also gave away, or not gave away, but put in my declutter. So declutter, there was 1 empty. This is going in the giveaway. This is what I used before. And that is what I've got going on this month. Thank you guys for joining me so much. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you'll want to subscribe before you go. And until next time, bye, friends.